Assalamu Alaikum. Hi my dear students. Welcome back to our English class. Today we are going to continue the same lesson, The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. Okay, all of you take your English textbook 185. Where we stopped, did you remember? We stopped, that is scene 2. Okay. The day of the trial arrived. Antonio did not ask for mercy because he knew well. So Antonio knew Shylock will not show any mercy on him. Okay, so he was willing to accept the punishment. At the court, the Duke himself pleaded with Shylock to be merciful. So they are all in the court. The Duke is the higher rank person. Okay, he's a king like person. The Duke was sitting in the court and he himself pleading Shylock, please show your mercy on Antonio. Who is telling? Duke. He bluntly refused. So Shylock is a merciless person and he was bluntly refusing. No, I will not show any mercy on Antonio. I need the punishment. Who is telling? Shylock. Bassanio offered the Jew twice the sum owed by Antonio. So, Bassanio was telling, I can give the money twice the amount what I borrowed. Okay. But he replied that he wanted justice. So, but Shylock was not accepting the money. He is telling, I want justice only. So, he would ask for his pound of flesh. At last, what happened? Shylock was telling, I need only the pound of flesh of you. Even if he was offered 6,000 times the amount. So, what Shylock was telling, even if you are offering 6,000 times the amount more, I will not accept. I want justice only. Who is telling? Shylock. When the Duke asked Shylock how could hope from mercy, when the Duke asked Shylock how could hope for mercy from God if he himself showed no mercy to fellow beings. So the Duke was asking, you are asking for mercy from God, you are praying to God, every day you are asking mercy from God, but you are not showing mercy to your fellow beings, your country people. They are all your country people, your own people. You are not showing your mercy to the country people, but you are accepting from mercy from God. How can it be? The Duke was asking to Shylock. Shylock replied that he wanted no mercy if God grants him justice. So Shylock was replied, he wanted no mercy from God if God grants him justice. So saying, he began to sharpen the long knife. So what happened? He was ready to sharpen his knife to take the pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Portia, who decided to come to Venice and to speak in Antonio's defense, reached there on the day of the trial with her friend Nerissa. So what happened? So Portia was ready to help Bassanio and Antonio, and what happened? He was decided to come from Beman to Venice and to speak in Antonio's defense, and he was favor of Antonius and Bassanio and reached there with our friend Nerissa. Okay, you have to remember that Portia and her friend was coming from Beman to Venice. Who is Portia's friend? Nerissa. They disguised themselves. Disguised means they are not in a real self. Okay, they are in disguised means they are not in their real self. That is the meaning. And they disguised themselves. Portia appeared in a lawyer's gown and Nerissa followed her as her clerk. So this is, you have to remind your mind. So now Portia was coming from Bremen to Venice, but he is not in the real self as Portia. He was playing the role of lawyer. Okay, so she was wearing a lawyer gown, and his friend is acting as her clerk. Okay, the case was just going to be heard before the Duke. So now the case was going before the Duke. Portia entered the High Court of Justice and presented a letter from Bellario, who was a lawyer. So Portia was entered the High Court of Justice and presenting a letter from Bellario. Bellario is a person who was a lawyer. Okay, so he was giving a letter from Bellario, and he was relative of Portia. So Portia was not in a real self. Okay, she was disguised as a lawyer, and he was telling, he was giving a letter from Bellario. Bellario is a lawyer and relative of Portia. I am the relative of Portia. He was introducing. In that letter, the learned counselor had written the bearer of the letter, Balthazar, could be permitted to plead for Antonio as he was sick and unable to come by himself. So in that letter, what was written? The letter was given to the Duke. What was written is, here the Portia is playing the role of Balthazar. Balthazar is a lawyer, and Bellario is a person. He was giving a letter to this Balthazar, and he was playing the role of in this case. Okay, permitted to plead for Antonio. For the sake of Antonio, he was talking in the court. Who is that? Balthazar. And he was sick and unable to come to by himself. Bellario wants to come and want to talk in that court, but Bellario was sick. For the sake of, he was unable to come to the court. For that, Balthazar was sending by him. Okay, did you understand? So Portia was disguised as Balthazar as a lawyer, and he was sent by the Bellario. Bellario is a lawyer. Okay, and he was playing the role of a lawyer, who is Portia. But nobody knows Portia is a real. Nobody knows the real self of Portia. The Duke granted this, wondering at the youthful appearance of the stranger, who was well disguised in her consular robes and large wig. So here, what is this? What is the appearance? They are telling appearance of Portia, Balthazar. How he is? He is a very stranger. Nobody looks before him. Okay, and disguised. She was disguised as a counselor, and robes and wig. He is having a wig. Actually, really, she was a woman, but she is playing as a role as a male, or that is lawyer. Okay, 186 page number. And now begin the important trial. So the trial is started. Portia looked around and saw the merciless money lender. So now Portia is the Balthazar, and she was the what? She was a lawyer, isn't it? And she was seeing the money lender, merciless money lender, Shylock. She saw Bassanio too. So Bassanio is her partner, is a lover. Okay, so she saw Bassanio too, but he knew her not in her disguise. But he doesn't know about her disguise. She read the bond and turned towards Shylock. Now Portia was reading the Balthazar. Okay, Balthazar was reading the bond and turned towards Shylock and told him that he had the right to his pound of flesh. So, hearing it, so what Balthazar was telling, Portia was telling, you have the right to take the pound of flesh from Antonio. Okay, who is telling? Portia was telling. Okay, and now hearing the words of Portia, that is Bethelsar, here Shylock felt very, very happy. Okay, very happy. She then spoke eloquently of the noble quality of mercy. So now she was speaking eloquently, eventually softly about the noble quality of mercy. Okay, Portia was telling about the before the trial was started, he was telling about the mercy. What are the quality of mercy? It would have softened the odds of all except thought of Shylock. Why Portia was telling about the quality of mercy? Because when hear the words of the words what Portia was talking, all hearts will, what is it, melt, isn't it? But one person doesn't melt. Who is that? Shylock. Okay, it would have softened when Portia was started talking about the quality of mercy. It would have softened the hearts of all except that of Shylock. She said that mercy dropped as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. So what Portia was telling, your mercy should be how the droplets are coming from the heaven to earth. It's not accepting anything. So like that, you have to, the gentle rain coming from heaven to earth. Likewise, the mercy should be. Okay, Portia was talking about the quality of mercy. Mercy was a double blessing. So she was telling, mercy was a double blessing. It blessed him that gave and gave him that received. Great kings have always shown mercy. So what Portia was telling, great kings always show the mercy to the fellow human beings. It was an attribute of God himself. Okay, the quality of mercy, it's like the quality of God himself, she was telling. And she asked Shylock to remember that as we all prayed for mercy from God, we are bound to be merciful to our fellow beings. So at last what Portia was telling, we are asking mercy from God, but we are not showing mercy to our fellow beings. What is the use? Okay, so she was asking the question to Shylock to change his mind and his heart. Okay, to show the mercy to Antonio. Okay, so this is the beautiful play. We will continue this play in next class also. All watch the video from the beginning to end. If you have any doubt in this particular lesson, you can ask me. Okay, until then, take care. Assalamu Alaikum.